on this fictitious perception. It's all because of my greed. My greed led me in here. My greed led me in here. This is all my fault. This is all my fault! It's all my fault. It's all my fault. It's all my fault.
Mr. Benjamin. Are you listening, Mr. Benjamin?
Are you referring to me?
Yes, I'm referring to you. 1961, 30 years ago, Wellington Palace dinner. Do you remember what happened that night?
I still remember that night as if it was yesterday.
Oh, do you? Then tell me something. What happened? What was the bet? 1961, that anguish that you just displayed on the dinner.
So what do you guys think of the death penalty?
I think the death penalty is pretty cool.
I do not agree with any one of you.
Well, I think both are equal.
Now listen here. I have not tried the death penalty or imprisonment for life, but if one person may judge a priori, the death penalty, in my opinion, is more moral and more humane than imprisonment in life. Capital punishment kills a man at once, but lifelong imprisonment kills him slowly. Which executioner do you think is more humane? He who kills you in a few seconds or minutes, or he who drags the very life out of you over a period of long years?
Well, if you ask me, I would always go for the life imprisonment. At least you're alive in that case, yeah.
Ha! I bet you cannot survive 1 year in life imprisonment.
Yeah? Well, I bet I can survive more than that.
How much do you think you can survive for?
I don't know, maybe 5, 6 years or 10 years.
How about I bet you $2 million? If you survive those 5 years, I will give you $2 million straight up in cash.
You're on, challenge accepted. I'm going in for 15 years.
15?
Yeah, for 2 million, not do anything. Yeah.
Well, I guess it's a bet then. Survive
Sure is,
15
sir.
Mr. Benjamin. Are you listening, Mr. Benjamin? Why? Why were you in support of death penalty?
That's... I told him, there is no abiding of law without penalty. Listen, lady, you don't kill a criminal, he will come after you again. Your family, your generations. Cut the roots when you can.
Oh, so that's why you killed the poor lawyer.
I did not kill that man.
Really? Then tell me something. What made you bet your 2 million on him?
We all live for it. I had to prove myself.
Oh, really? 15 years, Mr. Benjamin. 15 years that man was behind the bars in solitary confinement while you had the joys of a married life. You could see your children growing up. He was out there. Is there any remorse? Is there any redemption that you feel now?
Listen, lady, I only proposed 5 years. He was greedy. He was rapacious.
Really? Rapacious?
Yes, he was. He was greedy for 15 years.
Greedy? Did he ever receive the 2 million he was entitled to?
He left 5 hours before the due time.
Then tell me something. Isn't greed a societal illness, a self-fulfilling prophecy? Why would someone leave 5 hours before his due time for freedom.
I wasn't voracious for the money. Wouldn't have bet it in the first place.
Then did you look for him? I bet not, Mr. Ben.
Yes, I had lust for money. That bet was a naive idea. That foolish lad. Do you really think I would spend my 2 million on that man? Do you have any idea how long it takes to earn that kind of money? That 2 million was my only refuge for old age.
Then what did you do to him?
Yes, I did went to him that night. Stifle him. But
But what?
Your books have given me wisdom. All that the unresting thought of man has created in the ages is compressed into a small compass in my brain. I know that I am wiser than all of you, and I despise your books. I despise wisdom and the blessings of this world. It is all worthless, fleeting, illusory, and deceptive like a mirage. You may be proud, wise, and fine, but death will wipe you off the face of the earth as though you were no more than mice burrowing under the floor. You have taken lies for truth and hideousness for beauty. You would marvel if, owing to strange events of some sorts, frogs and lizards suddenly grew on apple and orange trees instead of fruit, or if roses began to smell like a sweating horse, to prove to you in action how I despise all that you live by. I renounce the 2 million of which I once dreamed as of paradise and which now I despise. To deprive myself of the right to the money, I shall go out from here 5 hours before the time fixed, and so break the compact.
Where did you keep the paper?
I locked it inside a safe.
Why? Why did you keep it all these years?
I was wrong. He didn't want it anymore. He didn't want the money. In those 15 years, he reshaped himself. His conscience revamped, his soul enriched. They say, knowledge is power. I sensed how powerful he was that night. Satiate, satisfied. No lust for worldly lavishes. And I, same old materialistic old hag. Worst with time. I locked that paper away so that one day, when my conscience finally awakes, I can meet the lawyer again. Give him the amount I promised. Couldn't keep to my word. What man if I couldn't keep my word? But he won't take it. He won't. Because he was the winner. He won over me.